uh, Electromagnetic Induction Lesson 6. Let us discuss 4 more numericals. Number 1. One minute. Number 1. A copper ring having a cut. Look, this is a copper ring. There is a cut here. Having a cut such as not to form a complete loop. It's not forming a complete loop. That is a small cut here. Is held horizontally. This ring is held horizontally like this. Means it is like on the plane of the paper as you are seeing it. And a bar magnet is dropped through the ring with its length along the axis of the ring. The ring is held horizontally like this, and the bar magnet is dropped from the top vertically like this. So axis of the ring, the acceleration of the falling, what will be the acceleration? First choice is g less than g, more than g, or d is 0. And we know it will be less than g. We know the value of g is 9.8 meter per second square. The meaning is, if a body is dropped from rest, you can write this as 9.8 meter per second over second. Means, starting from rest, the physical meaning is, if a body is dropped under gravity, its velocity increases in every second by 9.8 meter per second, right? After 1 second, it is 9.8. Again, after 1 second, the velocity will be 9.8 plus 9.8. Again, after 1 second, the velocity will be again plus 9.8. That is the meaning of acceleration, right? Now, in the presence of the ring, when this magnet is falling, what will be the acceleration? Whether it will be g or less than g or more than g or 0. Very simple. Now look, as this magnet falls, we know lines of force are crowded here. Lines of force are crowded here. These lines, they pass through the magnet like this. So, as this falls, the lines of force passing through the area of this ring is increasing. That is, the flux is increasing. As the magnet falls, the flux phi, number of lines of force passing through this area normally through the ring increases. So according to Lenz's law, the direction of current in the ring will be such, it will oppose the flux. Means if it is increasing while the magnet is falling, the flux through this ring is increasing. So to decrease that, this magnet should be pushed up. So how is that possible? If when seen from the top, the current in the ring is anti-clockwise, the top portion of the ring will behave as north pole. So it will, this north pole and two north pole facing each other repel. So this north pole, because the current is anti-clockwise, this will behave as a north pole, so this will push, so this will apply a force on the magnet in this direction. Earth is pulling in this direction. So the value of acceleration will decrease, it will be less than g. So the direction of current becomes anti-clockwise when seen from the top of the ring. The top of the ring behaves as north pole and pushes the north pole of the magnet up to reduce the flux according to Lenz's law. So the acceleration will be less than g. So the acceleration will be less than g. Now, let us go to the second one. Although the statement looks very lengthy, but the solution is very simple. Now look at the second one. A square loop. Look, this is a square loop. This yellow portion is a square loop of where? Of side 5 centimeter. 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter is lying on a horizontal table. This loop is lying on the plane of the paper. An electromagnet above, there is an electromagnet on this side, due to which there is a magnetic field, and the magnetic field lines are shown like this. An electromagnet above and to one side of the loop on this side is turned on, means causing a uniform magnetic field downwards. Due to that magnet, the magnetic field lines are like this. It is given. at an angle of 60 degree to the vertical. This magnetic field of lines with the vertical is making angle 60 degree. And the value of this magnetic field is given as 0.5 Tesla. The average induced EMF in the loop, if the field increases from 0 to its final value in 0.2 seconds. Initially, when the electromagnet was not there was no magnetic lines of force passing through this. After the electromagnet is active, the magnetic lines of force are passing through this, but not normally, making an angle 60 degree. And it becomes 0.5 Tesla in 0.2 seconds. Then what is the value of the EMF induced? Very simple. So, initially the flux was 0 when the magnet was not there. A number of turn in this loop is equal to 1. And the final flux, let it be phi 2. We know flux is equal to number of turns, field area into cos theta. And in time, 0.2 seconds, it increases from 0 to this much value, magnetic value. This is the value of B. This is not the flux. 0.5 Tesla is the value of B, not the flux. So EMF we know d phi by dt. The negative sign I have not taken, that only indicates the direction of current, right? So change of flux, phi 2 minus phi 1. So NBA cos theta minus 0 over 0.2, and number of turns is 1, B is given as 0.5 Tesla cos theta, area, 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter. So 5 into 5, 25 square centimeter, that is converted to meter square. Cos 60 minus 0 over time. So that comes out to be 3.12 into 10 to the power minus 3 volts. Area was given, this is 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter, 5 centimeter into 5 centimeter, 5 by 100 meter, 5 by 100 meter. So 25 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. So this is the area, therefore the EMF is equal to 3.12, that is answer B. Now let us go to the third one. Third one is important, and so also the fourth one. In third one, we'll be learning few formulas, right? If you can remember, you can answer numericals quickly. What it is, induced EMF developed, we know, only when the magnetic flux linked with a circuit or coil changes. EMF was minus N d phi by dt. I have explained you in my theory lessons. Phi is the flux. If phi is constant, derivative of a constant is 0, no EMF. If phi changes, then d phi by dt has a value, then there is an EMF. So how phi changes, I have already explained to you. If there is a coil like this, there is a north pole here, south pole, this magnet comes nearer, number of lines of force passing through this coil increases. If you bring this magnet to this side, the flux passing through the coil decreases. Or if you keep the magnet at rest, and here is a coil, you bring the coil towards the magnet, then the flux through the coil increases. If you take the coil away from the magnet, then the flux decreases. Means whenever there is relative motion between the coil and the magnet, there is a change of flux. A link to the coil changes. So how is that possible? By changing N, or changing by B, or by changing area, or by changing theta. All these cases I have discussed in my theory lessons. Or it can be any combination of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4. If this changes, there is EMF. If this changes, there is EMF. If area changes, there is EMF. If theta changes, there is EMF. This I will discuss in another video. So the combination of this also was responsible for change of flux. And we know flux phi is equal to B dot A, that is B A cos theta. This also I have explained. If the lines of force are not passing through the area normally, then we take the dot product. By taking the dot product, the lines of force becomes normal to the area. If N is the number of turns in the coil, then this flux will be N times this, N times B A cos theta. And we know EMF, E was equal to minus N d phi by dt. So if this is your flux, your EMF will be minus N d phi by dt. For phi, I substitute this, N being a constant, it can be taken out. So the first formula is EMF is equal to minus N d phi by dt. Remember this. If you remember this, then the rest, 2, 3 and 4th you can derive easily. This is the induced EMF due to change of flux. Then what will be the induced current? And we know current is equal to voltage by resistance. The maximum value of voltage is called EMF. The symbol was E, E by R. In current electricity, I have taken symbol for EMF as capital E. Here I am taking as small e. So the current will be voltage by resistance. This is your voltage. So this divided by resistance. So minus N over R d phi by dt is the current. Then what is the charge induced due to change of flux? Now we know I is equal to charge flowing per unit time. So from this Q is equal to IT, or you can write I is equal to, from this you can write I is equal to dq by dt, how the charge is flowing per unit time. So by cross multiplying your from here you can write Q is equal to I dt. So this is your I into dt. When you multiply this with dt cancels. So I am left with minus N by R d phi. Number of turns divided by the resistance of the coil into change of flux is the amount of charge. Now, similarly, the fourth one, the fourth important formula, and due to change of flux, there is EMF. What is the power? In current electricity, we studied power is equal to VI, and from Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. So for V, if I put IR, this becomes I into I square R. Or if you put I is equal to V by R here, so this becomes V square by R. There are three different expressions for power. So I'm using power is equal to VI. EMF I have derived. E was minus N d phi by dt. I just explained I minus N over R d phi by dt. So this becomes N into N square over R, then d phi by t whole square of that. So this is the induced power due to change of flux when a magnet is approaching a coil or a coil is approaching a magnet. This is the expression for power. Number of turns, square of that divided by the resistance of the coil, and d phi by dt, how the flux is changing with respect to time, the square of that. Now, then come back to fourth one. Here also the statement looks lengthy, but the numerical is very simple. We have done it before also. Two parallel wires, A1L, B1M. Look, A1L, this is one wire, conducting wire. B1M, this is another, they are parallel, are placed at a distance M. Between this wire and this wire, the distance, that is from here to here, the distance is W. In the previous numericals, I had taken this distance as L, right? Our distance W are connected by a resistor R. This wire and this wire, they are connected by a resistance R here, right? And placed in a magnetic field. This whole thing, arrangement, this wire, this resistance and this wire, they are placed in a magnetic field. Here the red crosses indicate the magnetic field is into the plane of the paper. The magnetic field is into the plane of the paper, which is perpendicular to the plane containing the two wires. This wire and this wire and this resistance, they are on the plane of the paper. The magnetic field is into the plane of the paper. Another wire CD, from here to here, this is a wire CD. Its length is taken as W because the distance between this wire and this wire is W. So the length of this wire CD is also W. CD now connects the two wires. When this wire connects A1L, B1M, then this becomes a loop. This becomes a loop. And this wire CD can move to this side or this side. In this numerical, it is moving to this side. Now connects the two wires perpendicularly and made to slide with a velocity v. This wire is moving to this side with a velocity v through a distance L. Suppose the wire CD was here. It moved from this position to this position. So when it was here, the number of lines of force passing through this area, look, through this area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8 into 5. That is equal to 40 lines of force are passing through this area when CD is here. When CD moves from this position to this position, now the area has increased. Now the area is from this point like this. And the number of lines of force has increased by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it is equal to 40 plus 5, that is equal to 45. This I am explaining you for better understanding. So the flux is increasing when where CD is moving to this side through a distance L, then the power delivered is how much? These are the four choices. And in the previous lessons I have explained you when a conductor was moving to this side or this side, EMF developed was equal to BLV. B, length of the conductor, velocity. Here the length of this conductor is W. So for L I write W, BWV. Here the length of the conductor is W. So the EMF, the expression was BLV, now it becomes BWV. And power I just explained, power is equal to VI and V is equal to IR, so is equal to I square R. For I, if you put V by R, so this becomes V square by R. These are the three different expressions which I explained you current electricity. So, which I explained you in current electricity. So we will use this V square over R. So the power developed is V square over R. And V is equal, EMF is equal to, I explained you, BLV. In this case, the length of this conductor is W. So BWV. So square of that. B square, W square, V square over R is the power. So B square, W square, V square over R. That is your second choice. B choice is correct. Let me explain you further. If you are asked to find the direction of current, in this case, what will be the direction of current? When this conductor CD is moving to this side, the flux is increasing. According to Lenz's law, the flux has to decrease. Means there must be a force on CD to pull it to this side. If it pulls it to this side, the area will decrease, the flux will decrease. So what will be the direction of current in CD so that it experiences a force to this side using, so that is what I am explaining. So when CD is moving towards right, the area CDBA1 A1C, CDB1 A1C is increasing. Means more magnetic lines of force are passing through. That is, flux is increasing. To decrease the flux, according to Lenz's law, CD should experience a force towards the left. Using this expression, so this is CD. I am showing it here. How it should experience a force to this side if the current is from D to C. Because using this expression, if the current is to this side, IL will be to this side. And magnetic field is into. IL is to this side. Magnetic field is into the plane of the paper. Into the plane of the paper. So IL cross B will be towards left. So by taking I to this side, IL cross B will be towards the left. So the conductor C will experience a force, CD will experience a force to left side if the current is to this side. So I is from D to C. So if I show the current here, it will be like this. It will be like this. It will be like this. It will be anti-clockwise.